し弱ってるかも
Welcome to Sega Saturn SHIRO, the only podcast that's weirder than the games we play. Tonight's SHIROs are Nick, Dave, Ben, and of course, myself, Patrick. Today we have a very special guest with us today, Jason Steele, aka FilmCow, a prominent Saturn streamer and the mind behind Charlie the Unicorn, Llamas with Hats, and the ever-famous streamer Vulo the Face Borrower. How is it going, Jason?
It's going great, Pat. Thanks for asking.
Nice. It's great. I'm glad to have you on. I know we're all big fans of you, and we really love your streams as well. We have really a lot of good games that actually inspired the games we chose today.
Well, thank you. I enjoy the show a lot, and glad to be here.
It's good to have you on. We're happy you're here.
For real. Did you want to tell us a little about your Saturn background?
Yeah, sure. In 1996, I was visiting family in beautiful Titusville, Florida, the Space Coast. At some point, we went to a Sears department store, which was a thing you did in the 90s. And I saw a demo running of Virtua Fighter 2. I was 11 years old at the time, and the only other 3D game I had seen at that point was Star Fox on the Super Nintendo. So seeing Virtua Fighter 2, it was like stumbling across a manticore in the woods. I didn't understand what I was seeing, how it was possible. Spent the rest of the day trying to explain to my family what I had seen. I saved up my money. Almost certainly had help from my mom because there's no way I put together enough as a 11-year-old. But I purchased a Saturn from a Kmart. Came with a 3 free games pack, and I've been in love with a Sega Saturn ever since.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a great story. That's my grandfather used to work in Sears, but I don't think he ever got me Saturn stuff, sadly.
I worked in Sears. A little late for Saturn though. Well, I sold out a lot of Dreamcasts in as the sun was setting on Dreamcasts that we were selling them for like $50. And gotcha. I told Pat that I failed to pick those up.
Yeah, so I didn't have a Saturn at the very beginning. I was too young, but while it was still being sold, I did get one.
Nice.
Yes, see. Nice.
It was still fairly popular in 96 if memory serves correct. So
well, that's when Knights came out, right?
Yep. Pretty sure.
Summer of 96, yeah. So.
Good year.
So has your collection been do you still have some of the games you had in the mid-late 90s, or did you kind of have to restart it at some point?
No, I still, luckily, so I lost most of my possessions in Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, jeez.
But luckily I had left my video game collection behind at my grandparents' house. So I managed to save all the Saturn games I have, which is lucky because it's much more expensive to get them in the 2000s and 2010s.
No kidding.
Than it was
Yeah.
Like I got a copy of Battle Sport for like $5 at an EB Games.
Wow.
Dude.
There's no way I'd own a copy of Battle Sport getting it in 2021.
That's bananas. I gotta ask about Battle Sport. That's one of those weird games that like has next to zero history. Do you remember like roughly when you bought it? Was like what year, or was that like way after the Saturn had died?
I do remember getting it at a game store where I was on the like clearance shelf. So it would have been a time in which Battle Sport would have been on the clearance section of a used game shelf. I specifically remember that they were like getting rid of the Saturn games at the time from the stores. So whenever that would have been.
99 probably. 98 or 99.
It came out in like either late 97 or early 98. So yeah, that's about right. I'm sure if it was clearance, it was definitely around there.
Yeah, I got
basis for all the dates for the Saturn.
I got most of my games when they were on clearance because it didn't have a whole lot of money, but being a Sega Saturn owner meant you could get a bunch of games for pretty cheap.
It's crazy to say that nowadays.
Yeah, it's like an arm and a leg nowadays, and probably a kidney or two.
Both kidneys, I think.
Nick's video of Gen War is making me want to pick up a copy now, but I don't want to pay $40 for it.
Are they $40 now?
They are, for the most part. And I'm like,
Okay.
dang it, I passed
Oh.
over that game so many times because it was just kind of one of those games that I was like, and now that I know more about like Jumping Jack, and I actually like Congo, to be honest with you. Like
It's
want to
not
go
terrible.
back.
Congo's
It's not
not
ter-
awful. It's not
No,
amazing at all.
It's
but
not amazing at all,
yeah.
but it's like I know the history now,
Right.
thanks to your video, and I'm like, dang it, I want it now, and I don't want to pay $40 for it, so I'm gonna have to like just wait.
I feel partly responsible for this. Pebble Beach Golf Links used to be one of those games you could, like, maybe 2-3 years ago, you could get it complete, decent condition for like less than $10, and I haven't checked super recently, but again, I feel partly responsible for this. It's now up to like 40 something, I think.
I'm sure you are. The game itself is a meme.
That game is worth every penny for $40. That's
It
even
is.
a bargain.
It absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
For the pleasure of Craig Stadler, it's worth it.
Well, it looks like I can get a complete copy, American tested and working, as the eBay says, for $35 or best offer. So
That's
I'll
not
put
a
an
bad
offer
deal.
for 2. I mean, it could be better.
The $10 Saturn games are gone forever.
They
Mhm.
that they
They
are.
really are. Yeah.
You just got
Rip.
to find them in an abandoned house.
Crazy.
I saw
stuff.
someone listing a copy of Virtual Casino for $500.
That's
Oh
nasty.
boy, my
There's
favorite.
another
Yes.
copy on eBay for like $35, so I can't imagine it sells. But
Right.
people are trying.
There was someone who tried selling Gen War for $250, and like in their description, they branded it as being like Americana before like things got canceled or some political bullcrap in the description. And it's like, okay, dude, first off, no. Second, don't sell Gen War for more than $30. If it's, I don't care if it's sealed. Like,
that mean that Steam Heart is Japanicana?
I guess Steam Hearts would be
Japanicana.
Japanicana. Yes, I think it would
Before
be
things got canceled.
Pre-cancel.
very, very. We'll get to that.
Do you want to, I guess, start with the personal updates, or we can jump into the games, whatever you guys are more comfortable with?
If we can keep personal updates to like a brief minute or two per person, then yeah, we can do that. Knock that out real
That works. All right. Did you want to kick us off, Jason? Let us know what you've been up to and some of the projects you're working on.
Oh, yeah, I've been working on finishing up the Charlie the Unicorn grand finale. The 3rd episode came out a week ago, and I'm hoping to get the 4th out soon.
Oh, nice. That's a 5-parter, right?
Yeah, there's 2 more episodes.
Nice.
But yeah, outside of that, just been streaming and just playing some games. That's about it.
quick. Oh yeah.
Fair enough. What are you playing tonight, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, tonight. I actually don't know. It is Saturday, so I'm going to be playing something on the Saturn, but I haven't made a choice yet.
I was going to say Steam Hearts, but I think you're going to be demonetized
No.
immediately.
No, no, no.
No, probably not Steam Hearts.
Have you done Santa Step yet?
Fanta Step, yeah, yes.
Oh, you've already done. Okay, I missed that.
Is that good?
Yeah, I would say Fanta Step is good. Yeah, it's a hidden gem, I guess. I got stuck and couldn't get unstuck.
Fanta stuck.
It's possible. It's possible that I made decisions that made it so I couldn't progress, but I really couldn't tell. I got stuck in a musical world, a world of music.
At least it's not virus. Ben couldn't get out of the first room. He's locked in his bedroom.
I had that problem playing the first Roommate.
Oh yeah.
I got stuck in the apartment. Like my roommate went to sleep, and then I couldn't figure out how to progress the game. I imagine
Yeah.
the fact that I can't speak Japanese is the primary problem there, but yeah, I just couldn't progress.
Maybe you're just too tired. I definitely feel that where, it's like late at night and you just don't want to, or like it's early in the morning, you just don't want to get up, just lay in bed.
That might have been it.
Probably. But yeah, you can always try out to, have you ever played Young Rhythm at all?
What'd you say? Which game?
Did you play the game Young Rhythm, or was it Young Beat? I can't remember what it was. Or Jung Rhythm?
No, I don't think so.
That one's kind of fun. It's like Parappa the Rappa knockoff. It's actually kind of fun.
Oh, you're talking Jung Rhythm, like jungle,
yes.
jungle rhythm. Yeah,
Young Rhythm, yes.
Yeah.
I did play that. I streamed that game actually.
yeah, I caught that.
Oh, nice.
That was great. That was great. You have to have a wired controller for that. The retro bits, even the 2.4 gigahertz, are just not fast enough for the rhythm games.
Huh.
It makes Derek A-Team, he was doing a stream and he was only able to beat it with a wired controller.
I've never had lag issues with that. That's crazy to hear.
It was crazy to hear, but
Yeah.
I was just like, try a wired controller, and it made an immediate difference, and he was able to beat the game. But yeah,
Crazy.
rhythm games, it's very precise when it comes to like any kind of latency.
Sounds good. Do you have any other updates, Jason?
No, I think that's about it.
Sounds good. All right. What about you, Dave? What have you been up to?
Yeah, not much. Doing SHIRO show with Pat. Working on. I picked up another Saturn cheat code guide. One of those Prima guides to complete my unofficial cheat code guides collection. I like to collect a bunch of like paper ephemera, Saturn related ephemera, so magazines and cheat books and stuff like that. I've been playing a lot of. I've been trying to get into Night of Dragons Shining Force 3 patch because I've only ever played Shining Force the English release, just the scenario 1. So I am trying to actually play that version and go through all 3 scenarios, and that's a lot of fun. But that's going to be a huge undertaking. So in the meantime, I've also been playing a lot of weird Japanese games like Cat the Ripper. Which is just like a weird nightmare hangover of a game. It's just, there's a huge language barrier, but it's still, I like the art style and it's interesting. And there's a lot of other, I finally got a large SD card that I was able to put like the entire library of Saturn stuff on. So now I'm really digging into some of the Japanese stuff that I've passed over. So yeah, having a lot of fun with that. But other than that, that's me.
Nice. I do want to check out the Cat the Ripper game. You got me kind of hyped on that one.
I like it.
Hitler gets punched in the face in that game.
What? No way.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's delightful.
Yes. Hitler gets punched in the face.
Hell
He
yeah.
gets Captain America then? Dang. I'm going to have to play that game now. All right. What about you, Mr. Nick? What have you been up to in this fine Saturn week, month?
Tirelessly editing the NBA Jam Tournament Edition review. At least now, I'm finally in the video editing phase. I've just been busy with real life. I hadn't really been able to work on my stuff lately, but I did get multiple interviews for this one, so I'm very, very excited to finally finish it. I started editing it, at the time of this recording, I started editing it just about 3 or 4 days ago, and I'm already a decent chunk of the way in. So hopefully I can get that done soon. I had mentioned in my Corpse Killer review that the NBA Jam video would not be as long as the Corpse Killer review. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a flat out lie.
You're funny, man.
So this one, I won't, tell you guys how long it'll be, but you wait and see. So while that's going on, I'm also doing research and playing Virtua Cop 1, which I've played many, many times. I've beaten it many times. I'm just, for the review, I want to try to 1 credit clear it, just so I can get a really good grip of this game. And so far, I'm able to get into stage 3 on 1 credit, with the rest of the settings on default. And there's the guy who's been translating Princess Crown, Sam I Am, found a lot of Japanese source material about Virtua Cop and translated a lot of it for me. Gracious enough to do that. I didn't coerce him into that at all. He just emailed me and said, "Hey, I'm doing this." I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And that uncovered a lot of cool tidbits about Virtua Cop that I don't think a lot of people know about. So that review itself should be pretty solid. And then as far as other life happenings, I've been just casually playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I've played the original trilogy before, and this one's it doesn't look like a current gen game, but it looks a heck of a lot better, and it comes with all the DLC. So my FemShep gets to blow up the galaxy. And
What colored ending are you going for this one?
Colored what?
What colored ending are you going for this one? Red, green, or blue?
Haven't decided yet. Not red. I'm not going to do red.
Gotcha. Not a red guy?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm full Paragon. I'm a total weenie. My FemShep is only good. And really, yeah. So that's been how that's going.
I'm part of the conspiracy that the red ending is the Paragon ending.
Oh, really? What makes you say that?
There's a bunch of stuff that happens through throughout the story, and if you follow along, which character is wanting you to do which option. Like, I mean, ultimately, I think the ending. I think a lot of it falls apart, but I respect the team's creative decisions.
Yeah.
I stick to my own conspiracies in order to have a headcanon that I like more. But
as many do, yeah. I think I did synthesis last go around of the game. We'll see what I do this time. I'm really enjoying the DLC. I didn't play any of the DLC, particularly the Shadow Broker one with Liara, since my character usually romances Liara.
You're doing Garrus this time, though, right?
No, Liara again. But the Shadow Broker DLC was fantastic. That was probably the highlight of the trilogy so far. Playing the remastered version with DLC that doesn't cost more than the game itself.
Yeah, the Shadow Broker DLC actually in 2 is really fun.
Oh, it's awesome.
That one's probably my favorite part of 2. I need to replay. I actually need to finish beating 2 and then beat 3.
You should.
I should. Unfortunately, on my update, I'll tell you what I've been playing, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's understandable."
What are you playing? Romance of the Three Kingdoms? Doing a marathon of the whole series?
I mean, you're not entirely wrong. I'll let you know though in my update.
That would be brutal, man. Just the thought of that would be brutal.
Yeah, that would. I think the game is good, but I would not touch that marathon. Not with the poll. Anyway, really excited for Metroid Dread, and that's all my updates.
Hell yeah.
That was longer than 2 minutes, man.
I'm sorry. I was the stickler. I was the asshole who was like, let's keep it to 2 minutes.
I know. It's just like your jam video.
Yeah.
A lot longer than... No, I have to say, I'm so glad that your videos are... I mean, don't go any longer than like 2 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Panzer Dragoon Saga, maybe, but that would be it. Yeah.
No word of a lie. I love the fact that your videos have gone extended format and that you've dug up a lot of like juicy little nuggets. I think that's great.
Thank you.
It's like reference level stuff for
Thank you.
Future preservation.
But can you confirm or deny that I'll spend more time watching the Lord of the Rings extended trilogy than I will the NBA Jam video? Can you confirm or deny that?
I can confirm that the NBA Jam Tournament Edition review will take up less time than one extended edition Lord of the Rings movie.
Okay.
That's all I need to know. All right.
Still got to get the popcorn though.
Yes. Yeah, you will.
I got my Orville Redenbacher popcorn all ready to go.
Hell yeah.
Kettle corn all the way.
Ooh.
Thank you, Ben.
What about you, Ben?
Okay, so it's funny that Nick mentioned that he's playing Mass Effect Legendary because that's exactly what I've been playing lately.
Nice.
And I beat the second one just this morning, so I've never played Mass Effect before because more or less I'm always I'm always playing like old stuff. And so when Mass Effect was out on the Xbox and all that good stuff, I was actually playing things from the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox and just catching up that sort of stuff. So I'm kind of behind a little bit when it comes to the Mass Effect. And so I'm playing this now, and it's absolutely amazing, and I'm having a blast with it.
It's one of my top fives. The whole trilogy is so good.
Oh, the story's great. Oh, and my girlfriend was asking, how would you describe this? And I'm like, it's like The Witcher in space. And so it's a little simplified, because obviously The Witcher is a much more rounded game. I mean,
I wouldn't say Witcher in space. I mean, maybe like the first one. I don't know about the third one though.
I've always thought of it like it's like you're playing like a Star Trek spin-off, except it's way cooler and you can throw plasma and blow up aliens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to
put it. Aliens. Yeah.
I don't know. They don't have Garrick in that one, so it's kind of a letdown. But I guess I'll let it slide.
Yeah. But I'm absolutely loving how the story ties into itself later on and things that happen, and everybody's just a part of things. It's really good. On the retro side of things, let's see if I can pull it up. It barely. I got my Retro Tink 5X in.
Nice.
And it's freaking awesome. And so it took me a little bit to configure that thing up because my my TV and my monitor here wasn't really accepting it. But when I got that thing all configured, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that's basically what's been going on with me. Other than real life work has been obsessing my life at the moment.
Same,
but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I feel you.
And Pat?
Well, like I said, was it Romance of the Three Kingdoms? I kind of was playing that. I was playing the stress test for Age of Empires 4
Oh,
And-
wow. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And oh my god.
Is it good?
Literally, it's like Age of Empire 2 except better. They somehow made it better.
Nice.
Like they made the way that you upgrade stuff is a lot more clear. They put the units in places that need to be placed instead of, oh, you need to build a castle to build a trebuchet, instead of, oh, building a siege factory, where obviously that would go for siege equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really good. I really loved my friend got me into Age of Empires recently, so I've been playing 2 a lot with them, and now we're doing 4, and oh man, I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably gonna be playing that tonight again. I love Age of Empires, so that's now my RTS. Friendship ended with StarCraft. Age of Empires is now my new friend.
Nice.
I'm very excited for that Age of Empires. I used to play 2 with my brother all the time. He would always win every single time, but I'm excited to
Night Rushed you.
Yeah, I'm excited for a new one to come out so he can start beating me again.
Fair enough. Well, hey, the stress test is free for this weekend, so if you want to hop on and download it, it's free to play, so you can just go on Steam and download it.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely hit me up though. Add me on Steam. We'll play some AoE and Night Rush a bunch of people because it's funny.
Maybe you could beat Pat.
Oh, he definitely can beat me. I'm pretty bad at Age of Empires, so
I just get too into the farming. That's my...
yeah.
I build huge farms that then the opponent burns down.
Yeah, that's the big sad. It's like, oh, I just made this nice farm. It's like Minecraft. I know, it's kind of relaxing almost. It's like, it kind of feels like, Minecraft is like, oh, you're making all the farms, you're doing all the mining, you're doing the resources, and then you realize, oh, I have to build an army to attack somebody. Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. It's like drats. But besides that, retro stuff, just playing the games for the cast. Playing Sakura Wars on the stream again, that was a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying Sakura Wars, and I kind of want to beat it because I beat the 2021. I don't know if I mentioned that on the podcast at all, but beat Sakura Wars 2020. That was great. Lots of waifu love. And the 1996 version, I'm really enjoying too. I think I'm going to play that for the stream. So if you guys like the SHIRO show, go watch that. I'm probably going to be playing like a switch off between Fleece Knots and Sakura Wars. So, yeah.
Have you played the 2.0 version yet? The one where they've got the lips to flap and everything?
No. Trekkies actually yelled at me I actually didn't have that. Yeah.
You put the wrong image on your satiator, right?
Yeah, I made the image for 2.0, but I forgot.
Right.
I completely skipped my mind that I needed to put that on. Need to put 2.0 on there.
It's nice. It's a nice improvement. I think you'll like it.
I'm so grateful to the translation team because that is such an incredible game, and it's so nice being able to play it in English.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, no. Yeah, did you stream that yet? I'm not actually sure if you have.
No, I haven't yet.
I gotcha. Definitely should make that a stream game. I would love to watch it. See that. I try to watch as much as I can, but usually Saturday's pretty busy. But I I watched the Hakaider one. That was pretty fun. So
I got your YouTube to notify me whenever you start streaming, especially on Saturdays. But for some reason, it doesn't notify me of video uploads. So when the 3rd episode of the Charlie finale came up, I was like, "The fuck, YouTube! I wanted to be let known about this. Like, what are you doing?" So I don't know.
YouTube has choked lately on me too.
It's a website.
Yeah.
It is a video hosting website.
Yeah.
I've been on YouTube pretty long now, and it's a constant struggle between like trying to figure out its systems and make it work for you and stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, but you're like technically the OG because you were there since what 08, 07, I think.
Shit, you were there in the Newgrounds days.
Yeah,
like, you were around for
Yeah, I moved from Newgrounds to YouTube probably in 2009, 2008, something like that. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I mean, you even referencing like famous music videos and stuff. Like I think you're in Weezer's Pork and Beans, right? The Charlie the Unicorn, I think, is mentioned.
Yeah, they emailed me and they were like, "Can we use Charlie the Unicorn in a Weezer video?" I was like, "Sure." And then I didn't hear about it again until I started getting emails from people being like, "Hey, I saw Charlie the Unicorn in a Weezer video."
That's awesome.
That is epic.
It's really cool though, and it's cool to have someone like that in the chat and talking with, because it's kind of cool to be able to talk about the early days, because I think a lot of us, oh man, I hope this doesn't make you sound dated, just like a lot of us like watched that like during our high school days and stuff, and seeing some of the OG creators and stuff, and it's cool to
we just turned Dave and Ben into grandpas over there. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh God.
Single-handedly.
Sorry.
No,
No,
But hey, I
cool.
mean,
It's
yeah,
all
they'll
right.
probably say the same thing about like a lot of the newer stuff today. It's like, oh, I remember watching Jake Paul and Logan Paul back in the day. It's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, for me, the like the OG stuff is things like Rather Good, like the Viking kittens, or the
Oh right, yeah.
the moon commercial for Quiznos.
Are you talking about the squirrels, or was that another one?
No, that's another thing. Yeah.
Oh.
You're
No,
like-
no. Maybe they were squirrels. I don't know. They look all messed up, so maybe they are.
Yeah,
squirrels.
there's the guitar one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sing it because I don't want to get
Was
copyright.
like Foamy
flagged.
the Squirrel in your
Oh, you're
day?
talking
or
about
was
Foamy?
that, like a little later?
Yeah. Oh my God. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
a lot of us are filming.
Foamy
Foamy
was
was-
in my day. Yeah.
That was
All right.
that was Homestar Runner, Foamy the
Hell
Squirrel,
yeah.
and Happy Tree Friends was like my college days.
Yeah, I still send people the Homestar Labor Day video every Labor Day. I pounce on that video immediately.
It's funny. I was a teenager when Foamy the Squirrel was getting real big, and I had this irrational dislike of Foamy. I joined a secret society for the destruction of Foamy. we had our
fair.
own private web forum where we plotted how to destroy Foamy the Squirrel.
Did you do it?
Those are the good old days.
No, we didn't do it.
Dang.
Foamy's still going. And you know
Yeah.
what?
Really?
You know what? All power to Foamy. Yeah. I'm Jonathan Mathers, I think. I might be getting his name wrong, but yeah, he's still doing Foamy. He does live streams with like a pumpkin puppet.
Wow, that's some longevity right there. Yeah, Jonathan Mathers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the one I do that I was kind of in what I don't think anybody really talked about him was the clock crew or whatever, the strawberry clock thing.
Yeah, the Clock Crew. One of the Clock Crew members was in the anti-Foamy group.
That's pretty funny actually.
He was the leader. I forget which clock he was, but yeah, old school Newgrounds stuff.
nice.
I think those were the old days of literally just posting videos, like, because I know the Radio Strawberry Clock was just a bunch of like dumb parody videos and literally just a bunch of posts.
The best part is remembering that the premier way to like upload any video was to put it in like Flash, not like a video hosting website or like a weird QuickTime embed. It'd be Flash. You can't pause it. Maybe you can, but
Yeah, you would have to program a pause button if you wanted it to be able to pause.
right.
Yeah.
Those were
Those are good
days.
days. I think that was the first time I actually realized how dated classes for computers can be. So I took like a design course for like web design with Dreamweaver and some old stuff, and the website
Dreamweaver,
looking like, it's like, man, that website looked like garbage. It was supposed to be high tech back then. That was like in the early 2000s.
Dreamweaver, that was all like little tiny cut images to make your website. Yeah, those are the days.
At
Good
least
stuff.
the words were color coded, so you could separate it rather than like a text or word file. That was a pain in the butt.
That's the funny thing. Sega's old website, when you go to the Wayback, it's all that Dreamweaver stuff and like
Yeah.
Shock Machine, all that Macromedia stuff, image maps. Like, it's crazy, and it's all broken and borked nowadays, But it's fun to play around with.
It makes it look and feel 90s for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Also, welcome to the cast, Jason. This happens quite a bit where we get off topic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Stuff like this.
It's a podcast.
It is.
Why don't we get into the main topic then, which is the weird Saturn game. So we're doing a new I guess mini show serial, Weird Japan. It's like that Eurobeat song Big in Japan, except weird in Japan. But basically, it's just a bunch of, I guess, classified as weird games. I don't know if they're all like definitely hard weird, but there's some strangeness to them in a way that makes them off-putting in one aspect or another. Some more than others, some less than others, some extremely more than others. But yeah, why don't we jump into our first game, which is going to be Game Tengoku, or the Game Paradise, or Game Paradise, depending on what the title is and what people want to call it. But I guess to give a little background, it's a vertical shmup by Jaleco, released originally in Japan on November of 95. Later released in Japan sometime in 95. It was released on the system, the Jaleco System 32 arcade board. They say 95 released in the US, but I'm fairly sure it's just people importing boards and shoving it inside of their machines. Because I don't really think they ever translate anything for that, and I don't really remember a English ROM or anything for that out there, so that's just my best guesstimation. I could be wrong. I usually am. So, if you guys know any better about that, let us know. I don't know. Do you guys know in the chat here? No. It's the big sad. All right. So the plot involves a scientist named Genius Shimada stumbling into an arcade. He kind of looks like a flasher almost. He has like his jacket out, and I think that's really all he has on, and like maybe really short shorts. But I think it's like more like a trench coat. I could be wrong, but yeah, just runs to the arcade and tries to harness the power of all the machines to take over the video arcade in Japan and eventually the world. And the attendant named Yuki Ito, who's this purple-haired Japanese girl that runs the. I don't know if I think she's just an attendant, like the people like in the vests and stuff that help the machines and make sure they don't break down and like serve tokens, whatever. I don't know. I've yet to be into a Japanese arcade. I don't know. Have you guys ever been to a Japanese arcade before? In person? Is it anything like that?
It brought me back to what those were like immediately. Like I recognized like the egret cabinets and all that, like the way they're lined up and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess total weeboo moment, but but it was a great time. My wife and I went to Akihabara for like a day when we spent a week going to Japan back in college, and yeah, we went to that Sega building that closed down recently and played with a bunch of the claw machines and the arcade machines they had in the upper floors. The best one though was Taito Hey, and that one's still open, I'm pretty sure. That had like
Taito Hey?
Taito, yeah. However,
is that the multi-game one where it has like multiple games on it?
No, it's like a building with multiple floors.
Oh, the building. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I get like the Taito because Taito has like the arcade machine, so I wasn't sure if there's like
it's that gets confusing, their branding, but it was great though. They had like every Darius game, like even the old ones where it was like 3 monitors wide, and they had this big Darius 2 cabinet where it was like one of those giant LED screens where it was like 2 4x3 massive LED screens smashed together. And and they had a bunch of those like those white. I'm pretty sure they're called egret cabinets. There was probably various variations of.
Yeah, that's like the ones with like the roundish control panel. It's like purple or green.
Just damn near every shmup you can think of, like all in a line. And they had like a shmup floor where it was like a good 100 or so shmups with like mainly Taito stuff, of course.
Were there any young people playing the games?
It was mainly salarymen smoking cigarettes afterwards.
Yeah. That's exactly what I expected, but that's kind of what I want.
Yeah,
there was one young kid. There was one young Japanese kid tearing it up on Darius Gaiden. That was and he looked to be about high school age. Other than that, my wife and I were the youngest people there for sure. It was all like businessmen.
Just two white people just playing some Darius Gaiden, Darius Burst or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like Darius Burst. I need to get that again.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. Like anytime I'd start playing, that would like garner attention because it's like, oh, there's a foreigner playing this weird game that like not a lot of people play, and they'll be like, okay, is he any good? And they'll like be like 2 or 3, and then they'll see me like get blown up in the middle of the first level and be like, oh, okay, no, nice, move along. It was great. We couldn't get a ton of pictures in there because they're really weird about taking pictures inside arcades, but we got a few.
Yeah.
Every arcade machine had like a cigarette tray next to the buttons.
I'll have to pick up smoking then and get some smokes in while I'm playing some Darius.
You'll fit right in with a salaryman. Just wear a suit, and then just don't talk
Look
to anybody
depressed.
while you're there, and you'll fit right in. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Sounds
It
good.
was
Yeah,
great.
but yeah, getting back to basically the attendant Yuki Ito calls for help with the various Japanese Jaleco. I think it's Jaleco protagonists to try and stop him. That's why I get confused because there's Jaleco, which is I think it's a toy company, and Jaleco, I think it's the game company. So I thought they were the same thing, but apparently they're not. So sorry, guys.
Well, that's news to me. I always thought they were the same thing.
I did too. Yeah. So apology
Maybe.
accepted.
I have no idea. I could have sworn they're two different things, but I could be wrong again. Like I said, I usually am. I think they're mostly just arcade games, but they're defunct now, so doesn't matter. Anyways, basically you contact all she gets together all the Jaleco protagonists, tries to stop the evil doctor. You select from several characters, which includes a Japanese schoolgirl, a Vic Viper-esque pilot, a mecha, and of course a pig. I mean, why wouldn't you? And each comes from the games Exarion, Formation Z, Momoko 120%, but Batasan, and Plus Alpha. So, are you guys familiar with any of those games? Have you played any of those Jaleco games?
No, but I have to say, didn't the pig seem like a nod to the Parodius games? Because there's pigs, there's like Anthony, and so there's like these angel pigs in those games. And then you mentioned the Vic Viper. It just seems kind of like they were kind of doing the Parodius thing.
I believe so.
It did remind me a lot of Parodius. Like I picked up major Parodius vibes playing it. Granted, I think they're different pigs. I'm
right.
pretty
Oh
sure.
yeah. There's two different pigs in Parodius, and then this is totally different. But it just seemed like a nod to that.
There's
Inferior.
like a
It's only got one pig.
I know.
Right. There's only one pig.
But you got a Japanese schoolgirl, so hopefully that equals it out a bit. But you know,
I don't know. I like the Transformer guy best. He's got a good shot. He's pretty cool. The pig character has like this strangely deep voice if you watch any of the cutscenes in Game Tengoku, and it's very funny. I enjoy the pig character.
yeah.
It
There's
is a
also
good pig.
Sorry.
Yeah, he is. Very good
Good
wanker.
pig.
There's only one though. Just one pig.
Just
So,
one, but it's a good one.
That's right.
Yeah, but there actually is an OVA that was released on the VHS tape with the game itself in a special edition. It actually recently got released in some of the US releases by Limited Run Games, translated, but all it is just a VHS rip with subtitles over it. It's all right, all white quality. I kind of was bummed. I hope they would have done like a remaster thing, but it was just a DVD and a rip of it. So I'll probably add some footage of that in case I run out of footage. So we'll see. But yeah, I guess my feelings on the game itself is that I think it's really fun. I think I told the story before that how a friend brought the game over to my house once, and once I saw the cat lady boss, the one that Dave's playing right now, I was hooked. I was like, "Are you serious? This is a boss?" It's like, "Yep." It's like, "Okay, I'm hooked. I want this game," and I bought it right after everyone left. I went on eBay and put a bid for it, and I got it for I think $30-something. I think it's up to like 100 or so now, but. My favorite boss battle in the game, though, is the karaoke boss, where you can choose the letters. Basically, it's a young girl that's singing a song. You can choose the letter finish singing and end the fight early by shooting 100 of the lyrics that are flying out. So the way it works, that lyrics will, as she's singing, they're flying out around you to kill you. If you kill 100 of them, you blow up the bar, or you can let her sing it, and it's like, okay, no big deal. She just sings it, and it's all good. But yeah. Did you guys get to the karaoke fight at all?
Yes, and I was actually going to ask you guys if you made it to that fight, because that was really a fun battle there, and it was really interesting too.
Yeah.
I did, but I played on very easy, so.
Which is what I'm doing right now. Hey, Pat, can you speak to something? I noticed that this game doesn't require, but it accepts the 4 meg expansion cart. So is it the animation? Because I noticed the animations are really slick in this game. But I was able to play before without the expansion cart. So is it just an animation thing, or does anybody know how the game benefits from the cart?
I'm actually kind of unsure. I played it with the cart all the time, and I played it without just recently for the stream. And I honestly couldn't find any differences. The only thing I could think of was maybe some of the cutscenes, but all of it seemed pretty legit. So honestly, I don't know.
I feel like I feel like it might be the animations that there's more frames. They just seem really, really smooth. Like the cat boss that I was just playing, it's like a cartoon. You know, it's like the frames of animation are so smooth. That's one of the things that stands out to me with this game. Sorry, I'm clicking away on my.
And that's the thing is that I don't know like what the like I did it in both of it, and I played it multiple times, and I really couldn't find a difference without the expansion card in there. So I honestly don't know. I think maybe it's some loading time stuff. That's all I can think
but
of.
it doesn't. So it doesn't inhibit your ability to play or enjoy the game at all. It's just probably some enhancements.
There's probably some video or something like that, but there's nothing I noticed in terms of quality. I think maybe it doesn't play a cutscene or something. I don't know, but like I said, it's
in other words, you still want to play this game. This game is a lot of fun. It was really neat.
Yeah, go play that. And
I love shmups, even though I'm very bad at them. You know, I love what a spectacle they can be, and game Tengoku is definitely among the best in that regard. It is really just a constant barrage of colors and sounds. It's delightful from start to finish.
The sprites are also huge. Like the sprite scaling is awesome, and the sprites are really big.
Yeah, characters take up like the whole screen. It's great.
There's another shooter on here that we talked about at one point, and it was it was based on that Japanese anime show.
The Ippo no whatever.
Yeah. God, I can't remember.
It's the one that's based off of the Tatsunoko series. It's that villain one.
Yes. It seems like the art in here, like the drawing and stuff like that, might be the same. I gotta look it up, but it looks like the same art style. To be honest with you, the character design. Ipatsu. It's the Ipatsu. Dorombo.
Ipatsu, whatever.
Yeah.
That's actually another game my friend brought over along with the game Tengoku that we played. And that one is a lot of fun too. It's definitely a different one for sure. Go play that one too. But yeah, if you guys want to play it, you can get it from Limited Run Games on the PS4 and Ready to Dispatch in the USA. The only thing that Ready to Dispatch has faced some delays, however, since like 2019, where that I really want to get it because it has the vinyl record of the soundtrack with it. Of the game, but like it's been delayed so many times. The pre-order's still up, but I'm kind of hesitant in pre-ordering it because it's been delayed for like 2 years straight, and it's like what's going on with that? I don't know. But I have the PS4 Limited Run Games edition of it, and it's a really nice box. Comes with the original posters from all the games that we mentioned from the protagonists. Comes with the soundtrack, the OST, and the PS4 game. So yeah, definitely a lot of ways to play it if you don't want to buy it on Saturn.
One thing I'd like to mention about it is it definitely benefits from being played in Tate mode. It's very difficult. As many of us said, you know, a lot of us played it in very easy. And I think a big part of the reason for the difficulty is playing it in normal TV mode, however you want to phrase it, is you don't get a ton of real estate to move around and dodge stuff, and a lot of those big sprites take up almost too much of the screen for you to be able to reasonably avoid stuff without memorizing the entire game. But then I tried it, you know, in Tate mode. I tried it in sideways TV mode, and that really opened things up and made the game a lot more playable and a lot more. I shouldn't say a lot easier because it was still pretty difficult, but I was dying a lot less in Tate mode. So there is a Saturn mode. It's the second option down from the main menu, and that seems to make normal TV mode a little better. But I still think that you will greatly benefit from playing this in Tate mode if you ever pick up game Tengoku, which I'd highly recommend. I had a ton of fun with it. I love Parodius. Got a lot of Parodius vibes off this one. And it is extremely colorful, very vibrant, very, very bright, and in your face with its graphics. And if you're into video games or Japanese culture of any sort, you'll get many of the references that this game spits out at you. So it's very well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, very weird, very fun. But speaking in your face, I think that's one of the issues I had with it is that if you don't like know the game like by heart and know the levels, there's stuff that flies at you. There's enemies that charge at you, and it takes more than one hit. It takes multiple hits to kill anything in this game. So If you're a normal, you be prepared to dodge and do whatever you can to not get punched in the face by anything.
Get your bomb thumb ready. Get ready with that screen bomb. So
Yeah. All right. So would you guys consider this a weird game?
well, yeah,
Yes.
in a good way.
Definitely.
In a,
yeah.
in a great way, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
the arcade machines come to life and become a boss, it's a great weird game.
Yeah.
I would like to say,
I mean,
though,
when you're flying... go ahead.
Sorry. Regarding weird art from Japan, I grew up in the United States watching cartoons like Cat Dog, where a dog and a cat have somehow been cursed by God or nature to live fused together as one creature with two heads and no butts. And, I didn't think for a second that was weird. When I play a Saturn game where a huge anime girl shoots karaoke lyrics at my own much smaller anime girl, it's centering to know that the weirdness of that comes largely from the differences of our cultural norms. And,
That is very true.
Something like the abomination that is Cat Dog would seem equally as surreal to someone who didn't grow up seeing it.
Well, if you think cat dog's weird, you should meet their parents.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that's a good perspective to take on that. Is that it's weird culturally for us, but maybe they think, oh wow, they're weird cartoons with cat dogs, or real monsters in the sewers that carry their eyes and or an umbrella and licorice.
As a former purveyor of cat dog, I think that is a good point to make.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of shmups or even games in general, it's very unconventional.
Yeah, definitely.
And I mean, there's also, I mean, I don't know if somebody already mentioned this, but the scale of things is kind of fluid. Like sometimes you'll be flying over a row of arcade cabinets, and then like the scale changes, and you're like in the claw machine in it. So like, I don't know if that's you just kind of have to suspend disbelief and just go with it. It's crazy. It's bizarre. There's a lot of visual confusion where like with some games where they're like bullet hells, there's visual confusion from like all the bullets that are on screen. With this game, it's more visual confusion from all of the sprites that are just flying around. And some of them enemies, some of them not. So that's one of the reasons I need to play it on super easy mode. But other than that, I think that it's phenomenal. Just visually phenomenal, and the music is great.
For sure. Yeah. Did anybody have any other thoughts on Game Tengoku?
I was wrong about there being any relation to the Time Bokan series. I was talking about Bokan Toipatsu, and they're not related at all.
The only thing I'll add, and again, prices will vary depending on when you're listening to this podcast, but just looking on eBay, the VHS edition that comes with the game and some VHS tape is like $109, and then if you want just the game itself, complete with the case and manual, that's running for about $60 on eBay right now.
Yeah, and if you want to play it digitally, I think it's only like $20 or $30 on the PlayStation Store if you want to play it digitally, and the Switch Store.
Or if you're an ODE user, have at it.
Right.
Tear it up.
I mean, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
Just find a copy. But yeah, this is actually one of the rare games I actually do own physically. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. Like I usually do that with the games I love, is I get them physically. So this is one of those games, along with like Magic Knight Rayearth and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Do you own this one, Jason?
Yes, I do. I got it when it was cheaper than $60, though. I mean,
How much cheaper do you remember?
No,
Okay.
I don't remember. It was years ago, so it would have been much cheaper. But
Got it.
That's
enough.
awesome.
You lucked out with a lot of those early grabs, Jason. I gotta say.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Totally.
honestly, I wish I would have early grabbed Panzer Dragoon Saga instead of Battle
Oh, yeah.
Sport. But
Hey,
At
you
least
got
you
Battle
got one
Sport.
of them.
That's what's most important, though.
yeah.
No, you can't put a press on Battle Sport.
I do
No.
love Battle Sport. I have many fond hours of memories playing Battle Sport. So
It's not a bad game. The 3DO version or the Saturn version, to be honest.
he got the ball.
It's just not worth what they charge for it.
He shoots.
That's
He
the thing.
scores.
I'll have
There's
to
like
play
5
Battle Sport.
lines. There's like 5 lines, and you hear them over
And
over
you just
again.
hear them ad nauseum, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
good.
Fair enough. But why don't we close this out and move on to our next game on our list, Omakase Savers. interesting. It's an interesting game. Basically, these three girls basically stumble upon a 400-year-old artifact that grants them magical powers and tasks them in tracking down several yokais that have been let loose on their town. I think that's a quote directly from our guest Jason Steele.
Oh, that is a quote for me. Yeah.
Yes. I could not find a synopsis, so that's the closest I was able to find. Ironically enough, I googled Omakase Savers, and our article was the one that popped up, and I was like, okay, I guess it's the closest I'm gonna get.
Nice.
It is a real hidden gem.
For sure. It was released in Japan on February 23rd, 1996 for the Saturn. You control the girls in this familiar 2D top-down style with a chibi look up to them, similar to Magic Knight Rayearth and how they navigate around the city and navigate around. Kind of like a it's kind of more RPG feeling though, right? It's less like Link to the Past feeling though.
It's part visual novel, part like adventure game. Like it's not an RPG in the sense that you're leveling up characters and such, but yeah, you do explore a little town, solve mysteries involving yokai. Fun game.
It was brought to the attention by you that did a lot of the streams for that, and I know that was quite fairly popular in the Saturn community just because it was sort of out there and so bizarre of a game.
I can safely say that before Jason streamed it on the Video Game Valley, there was really at least no Western recognition of Omakase Savers. Very few in the way of like write-ups and videos
Agreed.
about it.
Nobody was talking about it.
There was no playthrough of it. Like, Jason, I think you still have the only full playthrough video on YouTube right now.
Yeah, I know it didn't sell particularly well, like even like in Japan. So
right.
I feel like it didn't get a whole lot of attention in general, and I think it's worth a look now. Like at the time, like if you're choosing between Omakase Savers or Magic Knight Rayearth, you know, obviously it's easy for Omakase Savers to get overlooked, but
yes,
I think in 2021, looking for lesser known Sega Saturn games, Omakase Savers has a lot to bring to the table. It's if you're into magical girl stuff, this game has a lot to offer. It's got a talented cast, lots of wacky cutscenes, and a very goofy story, as I said, involving yokai committing various dastardly crimes like stealing baked goods or trapping people in paintings.
Damn, not the cakes.
Yeah.
Would you say this is more or less better or worse than Yokai Watch?
I haven't played Yokai Watch, so I have no idea.
It's pretty fun. The anime is pretty decent too. It's a pretty fun game. It's a shame that level 5 kind of fell out of the popularity. Because I think it was a really good. I guess I wouldn't say spin-off, like a Pokemon inspired game with a lot of really cool history behind it because they like to. But anyways, we're not here to talk about 3DS games that failed. We're here to talk about Saturn games that failed. No,
that's right.
But
Saturn failures only, damn it.
But yeah, speaking of Magic Knight Rayearth, I think somebody posted the article about it where the three girls in here were actually originally models for the Magic Knight Rayearth characters and a lot of the ads they had. I wasn't sure if it was specifically for the game or it was for the anime itself.
I think it was for one of the games. I don't know if it was for the Saturn game. I think it might have been.
I think it was definitely a Sega game. I think it was Game Gear or something. It might.
Game Gear. It was for a Game Gear thing. Yeah.
That makes sense. So I thought that was kind of a funny sort of nod, especially with the characters having similar colors to the Magic Knight Rayearth girls. I think only one of them switched out the colors. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, there was an orange one.
Yeah, in Omakase there's an orange one, and in Magic Knight it's just blue, green, and red. The good old CRT colors. So
fair enough.
So now as far as accessibility, I know I've played a lot of it. Dave, you played some of it. Jason, I think you're the only one amongst us five who's actually like gone and beaten the entire game so far. I plan on beating it at some point. I just haven't yet. Would you say this is pretty accessible for non-English speakers despite the heavy dialogue?
The language barrier is a challenge. It's not an insurmountable one though. The majority of your time, your goals are marked on the map, and the combat sections don't require like particularly advanced strategies. When I played it on stream, and there was a couple of Japanese speakers watching. So when I did get stuck, like I was able to get some hints,
Nice.
which was very helpful. Because there are a couple of moments in which like you have to do something, but you don't actually have a mark on your map, and when that happens, it becomes if you don't know the language, it becomes a matter of just kind of walking around the town, clicking on everything until it works out.
Right. I know that when I'm about like a little more than halfway through it, and anytime I think I only got like really stuck a couple of times because the map was helpful enough, but I was actually able to use your stream VODs as like almost a little walkthrough. It's like, okay, I got stuck here, and then I'd scroll through the 8 minutes of you talking to whoever the Japanese speaking person was in the chat, trying to figure it out, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, this is what they do. So at least having that online is still a good resource for anyone playing this game and it doesn't have the ability to speak or read Japanese.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the moments of confusion if this is a sort of game that appeals to you. Like if stumbling around a game world to watch wacky cutscenes of magical girl nonsense does not appeal to you, then this is probably not the game for you. But I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It's delightful.
I agree. I really enjoy it. It's worth the figuring stuff out just to be able to continue the story and see the crazy cutscenes and really weird yokai crap that happens. It's very, very entertaining.
Yeah.
The boss fights are fun too.
Yeah, the stop motion things, like, you know, as a picture and they have the voice over that, it kind of gives me like plumbers don't wear ties vibes, except good.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of like how they're high school girls, but they look nothing like high school girls. It's like worse than the sort of the National Lampoons, like Doogie Howser, whatever the National Lampoons Van whatever. I have not watched that in years.
The actresses are clearly well into their 20s, and they're supposed to be high school aged characters. Yeah. It's funny.
Exactly. It's kind of I honestly would say it's like a sort of a disbelief thing, but it's like, well, I mean, I've seen worse, so I guess it's not too awful.
That happens in every corner of the world as far as acting goes.
I mean,
I'm a 30-year-old playing a 15-year-old high schooler. Like, yep.
Yeah. I honestly
put on some makeup, you'll be convincing enough.
wish somebody would take an interest in translating this game.
Someone did.
Really?
Okay, so I don't think it's like finalized
official
for sure. Someone's definitely doing it, but I was on DF Retro's stream of I wasn't on it. I was like watching it and chatting with people. He recently streamed the bulk / translation project a few days ago as of this recording time. And they were talking about like, oh, what games, people in the chat, what games do you want to see translated? I'd mentioned Omakase Savers, and someone in the chat, I don't know if that still survives. I'm just kind of scrolling to find it. At the very, very end.
Chat replay's still there.
Yeah. Someone mentioned that they had looked into translating it. And I know that at Lacquerware, it was Lacquerware or someone else with Bulk / also looked into how feasible it would be. And I think the text system in the game's programming is a very difficult one to work with versus some of the other games that it's easier to get English text into the systems that the games use to put the Japanese text on there. That, you know, the ease of doing that varies by game, and in Omakase Savers, the way they had it set up made it relatively difficult. But there is someone out there who's like looking into it. I can't remember who or what, but it's the translation scene is aware of this game and aware of how neat it is. So hopefully someone will go all the way and actually put in the man hours, put in the labor of love, put in the time it'll take to get that going. So
the girls, they have like this necklace, right? This pendant necklace. And there's this little white ghost character that comes out. I guess he's like a helper or something like that. It reminds me a lot of Yokai Watch. I was telling Pat, because in Yokai Watch you have a watch and you can summon this white ghost that I swear looks almost exactly like this. Just the art style's a little different, but yeah, it's like this white ghost who's like your sidekick and also your like comic relief or whatever.
I really like that character.
I do. I love Yokai Watch. I think it's a great series. It's so the idea of yokai, these like mischief monsters creating havoc or chaos, is like a really old concept in Japanese folklore, and this game made it accessible like in a game form. I think there have been TV shows that have done the same, and then of course Yokai Watch is like the modern take on it that's getting kids interested in that idea, kind of Pokemon style. But yeah, I definitely saw so many similarities between this game and Yokai Watch, minus, obviously the cutscenes and the fact that they're girls and stuff like that. But it's interesting.
You can play a girl in Yokai Watch though.
Well, I guess that's true. In the first game?
Yeah, I believe so. You can be Nate or what's her name is.
Okay.
I forgot what her name was.
Well, anyway, we're not talking about Yokai Watch, but I just wanted to mention that there was like a lot of similarities.
Hey, it's at 5 and below. You want to play Yokai Watch? $5 at 5 and below. Go buy it now before it's sold out.
Get it now. Seriously, yeah. It's not going to be that.
So Jason, did you ever get that mini CD, or is that still
no?
Okay.
There were two listings for it on Amazon. One of them was $132. One of them was $135.
Yeah, okay, that's a lot.
And it was a lot of money. One of them did sell. Someone bought one of them, or
That's
it was
insane.
the listing was taken down, and the other one then shot up to $150.
Oh,
I was kind of hoping that maybe one of them would go down in price at some point, and I could grab it. But no, $100+ for a mini CD of the soundtrack to Omakase Savers is probably an irresponsible purchase, and I did not make it. But I would love to get a rip of that.
That or serious dedication.
yeah, either or. I feel the exact same way about whether or not $150 is worth it for that. That would be nuts.
If you send me the listing of it, I could probably keep an eye on Yahoo Auctions Japan, and if I end up finding it for not less than $132, I'll send it your way, Jason. You can go ahead and rip that and listen to all the anime musical stuff that you want.
Yeah. I've been keeping an eye on the Yahoo Auctions Japan and also the Mercari Japan, because there was one copy that sold on Mercari at some point in the past for a reasonable price, but it was years ago. So
Just
maybe another one will pop up again.
Hopefully, yeah. Some background info for the listeners. It's detailed in the article we have on our website, but when they made this video game, Omakase Savers, they tried getting the trio of actresses to do this musical group called Feel, where they would sing the theme song to this game, and I assume they might have had some other songs that they'd sing too, and they had like performances and videos, and they sold the soundtrack on this mini CD under Feel, kind of like how they tried to make like the Sega music thing in America happen with the Bygone Dogs and Cyber Speedway and all that. It's kind of a mirrored tactic, and just like the Bygone Dogs, Feel did not take off. So I imagine very few of these mini CDs exist, at least in terms of what auctions that we're able to easily go to on like Western internet places. So,
well, let's hope it doesn't end up like the Neo Geo Pocket Color prototypes that are probably going to be gone to the void now.
Oh yeah, I know. RIP.
That's the big sad. RIP Magician Lord 2.
That's right.
But yeah, I tried to play a little bit of it. I could not figure out how to play it. I got lost like Dave did,
shoot.
but it's really good. I think I'm gonna do like a play with Jason thing where I'll put the video on one screen, and his video on one screen, and then the game in the other. And I'll play it with Jason. We'll see if we can get further.
That worked for me. I was able to play it by myself, and then occasionally just scroll through his videos and find out where I got stuck and how he progressed, and that worked out. If you did a play along to the stream, that would probably work fine too.
It's quite literally a let's play.
You'd get stuck with Jason whenever he gets stuck.
Exactly. I spend like an hour, like 20 minutes just forwarding through his videos where it's like he's still stuck. Okay, some guy talked to him about it. Okay, this is where I have to go.
Yeah. That's pretty much how it went. So,
be the name of the channel. Get unstuck with Jason.
So, what are your guys' favorite things about this game? Like right off the top.
The vibes, the crazy antics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's enjoyable in the same sense that Animal Crossing is enjoyable to its fans. It's you don't play this game for its intense, well-designed, action focused gameplay. You play this because you want to figure out who stole all those ding dang cakes and thwart the ghosts that are tormenting this very vibrant, colorful little Japanese town. Like you want you want to see all the crazy magical girl cutscenes and the 90s cheesiness that comes with it. Like that's why one would want to play this game. And for that reason, if that sounds like something that you like to any degree, this is worth checking out for sure.
Definitely weird, but in a good way.
Jason, you've beat it. What were your favorite parts about it?
I did really enjoyed the boss fights, because there's like little video clips that come up every time you execute a move. And it's an interesting way of presenting a game like this, where you have the sprite art, but then every time you actually activate an attack, there's a video clip that plays on screen. And I haven't really seen a whole lot of games do battles like that, and so that's definitely a unique aspect to this game that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I just love the style of it. It's kind of like if they made a Magical Girls live action thing, a live action series, it kind of felt like that. Even though technically, I guess kind of is. So I guess it is already one. But I just like the cool portraits and stuff. It's kind of has its own little charm to it. Like plumbers don't wear ties, except like I said, good.
Good.
Except this one's good.
Exactly, and not plain awful. But yeah, there's definitely a charm to it. I really think I'd love to play and beat. But yeah, it's really I don't know. Like all the characters are really cool. They have their own unique personalities. At least from what I could tell, I can't really understand what they're saying, but I just assume that.
Yeah, the cast is very talented and does a great job giving you an idea of who they are, even when you can't understand the language.
Like, it's very trope heavy, but they're not bad actresses. Like, they do a good job at what they're seeking out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can match their personalities to the Powerpuff Girls instantly, but it's still very entertaining. I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, there's something about a woman-led trio group that is just pretty awesome. I don't know. Like the Magic Knights, Omakase Savers, Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah,
all good stuff.
If you're looking to collect, this one varies in price complete between $30 and $80 on eBay. Just scrolling through, one guy's trying to sell it sealed for $100 plus $17 for shipping.
That's the water graded.
Yeah.
Don't get me
no,
started.
it is not. Well, we'd be a whole another extra hour.
That's another podcast. But
that's
no, I can make jokes.
You can.
What will happen, Dave? What will happen, Dave? Is though someone will write on the back of it in marker and then seal it up.
There you go. Yeah. But anyway, so it's relatively affordable if you're willing to put down dozens of dollars on a single game.
Or you can get from Yahoo Auction Japan for pennies on the dollar and just have to worry about shipping.
Exactly. Yeah, that too. I think there was actually one of the sources that one of Jason's viewers found. Yeah, here it is. Someone on Jason's Discord server found a source that indicates it sold just over 18,000 copies. So that would make me assume that only about 18,000 or so copies exist. So yeah,
that's pretty small considering the Saturn based in Japan.
Yep. Hopefully that we don't shoot up the price just by talking about it, but oh well.
Hey, you know what? Let's hope.
Got to talk about it.
Yeah. And Jason, you bought this one. You own this one physically, right?
Yeah.
Did you spend $30 on it, or was this one of those $5 games back then?
I don't remember exactly how much it was. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah,
it's gone up in price, but it was worth every dollar, whatever I paid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In all honesty, though, it's kind of weird because it goes from high to low to high again. Because when you first import, like when we talked to Sega Lord X, he was saying, "Oh, he was paying tons of money for really bad games." And the games that are like pennies nowadays, but now it's like some of those games that were pennies are now worth a lot. So it's kind of like a funny pendulum of sorts.
Yep, it is. Anything else anybody wants to say about Omakase Savers?
I think folks should give it a spin. I think they should, if they have like an ODE or something, they should just download it and check it out.
Absolutely,
yeah,
totally agree.
Definitely more people should play it.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one, but the weirdness is what is what a charm of it is. Is
What makes it
the
worth
charm
it.
of it? Man, I'm sounding like
Yes.
Yoda now. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Omakase. Savers.
Savers.
All right. Jeez.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
You got to have like the swing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I forgot about the swing.
Yeah.
You gotta have the swing.
Why don't we move on to the next game? And actually, Mechanical Violator Hakaider, Last Judgment. And I have to say that, listen to that stream, I love the way that Jason says the title a lot better than I do. He, like, says it a lot better. I don't know. Like,
How'd you say it? Do you remember?
I do not remember.
Oh,
He's like Hakaider or something like
You're
that.
on the spot.
Hakaider.
Say it.
right.
Yeah, but good. Anyways, this one is probably the most interesting game that I researched. It's based off the 1972 property Hakaider, where a said character Hakaider is the anti-hero and villain, similar to, think like the Green Power Ranger initially, where sort of the anti-hero and sort of more like a villain role. And weirdly enough, he was actually the Hakaider is the inspiration for Darth Vader, according to George Lucas.
That's just bananas.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
Things I did not know. Yeah.
That's not a joke either. Apparently, he was. I'll put a link in there. I'll probably put in the description if you guys want to
I'm
look
looking
it up.
at it.
If you,
Yeah, I saw.
if you look it up. But it's a sequel to the 1995 film Mechanical Violator Hakaider. 10 years after the events of the film, Jesus Town is attacked by a robot named Waruder, and Hakaider is defeated. Disgraced, Hakaider retreats and repairs himself and ventures back to Jesus Town to reclaim his right arm and save the city.
Hold up. Jesus Town, is that?
I
thought I
think it's
misheard you.
I think it's pronounced Jesus Town, but I could be wrong.
It's okay.
I love your description. This is great. Keep going.
But there's also a funny thing. I think Jason brought up that they kept saying Jesus throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the name of his weapon is called the Jesus Hand, or Jesus Fist, or something. So like I heard it and I was like, did they say Jesus Fist or Jesus Hand? So that was pretty funny, and I just like they keep saying Jesus a lot, don't they?
Jisasu.
Yeah, it's like Jesus Alma or Jesus Fist or Jesus something. I don't know. There's a lot of Jesus, probably Jesus. May the Lord be with you and also with you, whatever. But the but the genre is a combination of a light gun shooter and an RPG. I guess maybe text adventure, like a light novel. And boy, gee, is it violence.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
not kidding.
Exactly. Jason, did you want to tell us a little bit about how you came across this game and your experiences with it?
Most of the games that I come across, like there's a video game database that I use, VG Collect, and I like kind of scrolling through just all of the Saturn releases and looking at the cover art, just kind of like you would do at a game store. You know, you look at the cover and it's like, is this interesting? Maybe
I
I'll
love
buy it.
VG Collect.
Yeah, so I would go through that list, and I saw this game on it. Thought it was looked interesting. Looked it up on eBay. Bought a copy. It wasn't particularly expensive when I got it. I don't know how much it is now, but you got to put that warning with every Saturn game. The price has probably gone up, no matter what game it is. But I saw this one. Thought it might be interesting to stream. Got it, and it was interesting. It's a great game. I don't know if this comparison is going to help anyone, because the game I'm going to compare it to is another obscure game from Japan, but Mechanical Violator Hakaider, Last Judgment, is the Death Crimson 2 of the Sega Saturn. Not to be confused with Death Crimson OX, a totally different game. But like the world-famous Dreamcast game Death Crimson 2, Mechanical Violator Hakaider Less Judgment. It blends light gun sections with adventure game elements. It's fun. You walk around pre-rendered environments, click on things, talk to people, and then at various points you're in a light gun shootout blasting like 3D rendered sprites. And you know the light gun
blasting putties, yeah. Like the putties from Power Rangers.
Yeah, and you know the light gun fighting is pretty good. You know, I've played a lot of Saturn light gun games, and some of them are, you know, they're trying, but this one is competent, and I had a lot of fun playing it.
I've got to tell Dave, he's playing it right now. Double tap the B button to reload.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say that. I remember watching Jason. It's like, how the hell do you reload?
Yeah, it took me a few moments to realize that.
Yeah, I played it with the light gun itself. Unfortunately, the capture I did of it is the thing that the light gun does is flash on the screen. So, and my main weapon was the rapid fire gun. So, I think I might have to recapture it with the controller so I don't seize out our audience. So, I'll apologize for that audience that are watching the video right now. I think I'm going to record it with the controller so you don't seize out. So. We're very concerning here, but the next game we're going to play, there's a lot of editing on this video portion. There's going to be, especially with the next game we talk about. But overall, I really enjoyed the game. I was surprised. Even though I didn't understand anything, I felt connected to the characters. Even though they kicked me out of their bar instantaneously when I walked into it. There was a connection there. There was some sort of lovingness, some sort of Kama Sutra.
That one, yeah.
That's the one you were looking for.
Sure, that word.
Kama Sutra.
Why not?
But yeah, the villains are interesting because they all have. I mean, obviously, it's like a Super Sentai esque thing property.
Yeah.
So all the characters are of course looking like Super Sentai characters. Like this one guy Dave's playing. It's like a horse, like a knight, a bishop that has a funny accent.
It's got like an arachnid bottom with a horse top half, and it's a mech. It's like really wild. It's crazy. Any Ultraman or Power Rangers fan is just going to go nuts over this game. Like, it's definitely up your alley if you're into that stuff.
Yeah, and it plays. It's real similar. It reminded me of like a Maximum Force and Area 51,
Area 51
for the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And so if you like those, this one just graphically looks really similar. And then the characters are a lot of fun to fight. The cutscenes reminded me of like an old Sega CD game. It was fantastic. Absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the impression that it comes off. I mean, like, if I was a native Japanese speaker, it would come off as kind of cheesy, you know, like trying to be very cool and just like Area 51 comes off to us and it's so good, you know, because of that. But I have a feeling that, like, because of the language barrier, it just seems kind of all awesome to me. But I think if I was actually Japanese, this would be cheesier than it even is as an American. But yeah, I agree with Ben. Like, the gameplay is very reminiscent of Maximum Force or Area 51, just with a very like Japanese tinge to it on all fronts. You know, from the cutscenes to the bosses that you fight and stuff.
One of the things I really liked is its point and click adventure sections in between shooting levels. Mm-hmm. And if you're using the light gun, 4 arrows will appear on the top, bottom, and left, right sides of the screen, and you have to shoot. You know, if you want to turn left, you shoot left. If you want to go up, you shoot up, and you move forward. And it's it's not a point and click adventure; it's a point and shoot adventure. And you talk to people, and they'll spit some Japanese at you, and then occasionally, oh no, this giant purple predator looking thing comes out. Like Barney and Predator had a weird lab baby and grew up into this terrible villain in this a Super Sentai light gun game, and now you gotta kill him. Why is he there? You don't know. You don't speak Japanese, unless you do. Then you know. But the point is,
very well versed in the
right
Hakaider series.
Yep, and a little warning to light gun users: the start button does not pause the game. It just switches your weapon. So I didn't know that there were multiple weapons until I tried pausing the game and it didn't work. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, and then it got good.
The optimal way you want to play this, though, is the light gun in the first control slot and the controller in the second slot to And the thing that with the light gun though is that you'll be navigating, talking in the menus, and like you'll have your controller in your hand like this. All of a sudden, because it doesn't warn you that there's going to be a shooting scene sometimes, so you'll be like playing
they
like,
just jump
oh,
out at you.
Oh crap! And you have to pick up the light gun, and hopefully you don't get blasted away. So.
So for any of our viewers that are or listeners that are going to play this game, keep in mind that we also had to remind Dave about this, about the reload is the double tap on the B. When you're playing the game, the C button's going to shoot and the A button's going to change your gun. But if you don't know about the reload, then you're thinking that you're actually reloading with the A button, and then you're going to get really confused. But
that's what
the
happened to me, because I played it with the light gun, and now I'm trying to play with the pad, and I was like, okay, how do I reload?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the save function for some reason. Like you can, I don't know how they do this, but you can point at the gun at the boxes, and it will highlight it. And I was really surprised that it was able to do that.
Oh yeah, so the way light guns in Saturn works, so like a lot of people know about like the duck hunt gun, where I don't know the exact science, but it detects whether or not you're shooting at like the certain colored square when the screen flashes white. Saturn's, and I think the Sega CD gun, and pretty much any 5th gen light gun uses cathode ray timing instead of sequential targeting. So every, our NTSC monitors that we all know and love operate at 60 frames per second, and every frame, every 60th of a second, that cathode ray is zooming across left to right, top to bottom, drawing the frame. And the phosphor in the light gun is capable of picking up where that electron ray is, and then it times out where, like, it knows how long it takes to go through a frame, and depending on how long it took to detect the phosphor or to detect the electron, that's how it knows where you're pointing the gun. So that's how we get like the cursor in Virtua Cop, or the ability to shoot stuff in this particular game without the screen flashing white. You'll still see it flash white because that gives you a more accurate, like that's easier for the gun to pick up. If the screen's flashing white, it's easier for it to detect the really fast cathode ray. So if that made any sense to anybody, that's how it works.
Right.
That's to me. I like the way that you say cathode.
Cathode.
The call of cathode.
That's one of those words I've only ever read.
Yeah.
And thanks for teaching me.
The slow-mo guys actually did an episode about how they explored how a TV works, cathode ray tube and whatnot. And they go into depth about this whole cathode. The cathode sweeping.
My favorite book.
I gotta revoice the video now.
Yeah, exactly. And so how the signal goes through, and it'll make the light gun situation make a little better sense. It's pretty brilliant. But it also explains why these light gun games don't work on these newer televisions.
I can definitely see the whole Darth Vader and stormtroopers thing, because you got these white soldiers that look like stormtroopers kind of.
Yeah.
And then I can see that now. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So if you ever want to win a trivia quiz game, guys, and say what the inspiration for Darth Vader is, just say Hakaider.
Hakaider. Jason, did you beat this game, or did you just play it for a couple hours and call it good?
Oh, yeah, I got to the end.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, how long did it take?
I got to the end in one stream, so...
oh, nice.
Yeah, it would have been, it's a little under 2 hours.
Okay, so I gotta ask, there's this level where you're in, a prison, and there's, good guys behind prison bars that if you shoot them, you lose health, and then there's bad guys that jump right in front of them, so, you'll put a couple into the bad guy, and then you'll hit the guy behind him, you'll hit the good guy.
The hit detection's pretty garbage in that game. I even hit them with a light gun, so I think it's just shit hit detection.
How'd you get around that one, Jason?
I don't remember. I do remember definitely hitting them the first time, but then I think I had to replay it, and I did some other strategy, and I think I didn't hit them, but maybe I still killed them. I don't. I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about, because I was very upset at having killed the poor people locked away in cages.
I know, I felt bad too. And then I kept dying because of it, so I felt extra bad.
Yeah, the trick is to get as much health as you can and perfect the level before, and then going with full health, so that way once you kill the citizen, you can keep going.
Nice, you just go in guns blazing and...
Yeah, it was pretty easy. I really only died on the first part when I was trying to get used to the controls. After that, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, I did get dinged with the citizens quite a bit. So
You know, Jason, I'm surprised you felt bad about the situation with harming those prisoners, given your playthrough of Wing Commander on the 3DO.
Yeah, it was a kill everyone kind of run. It wasn't intentional, but it turned into that.
I need to do a Paragon run like that in Mass Effect, going back to that, and just like punch the... Well, I punched Caraman on every playthrough, Paragon or not, or the interviewer lady, and just like kill everybody off, blow up. I actually did in Bringing Down the Skies. I accidentally did a renegade option when I killed those citizens, because I thought he was like, I'm gonna, because it's like I don't know if you remember that, where it's like he's holding them hostage, and like,
I think I remember this one.
And I thought it was a bluff, like I'm gonna blow them up, and I was like, and I said I'm gonna let anybody die to get you, and then he blows them up. It's like, ooh, I'm gonna restart that one. I'm gonna escape scum that, but anyways, yeah, I would totally do that for my next playthrough.
I was looking through the video footage of my playthrough, and I did actually kill all of the people in the cages. I did not find a strategy to not kill them.
The strategy was to get them out of the way, then shoot the people in front of them.
That's right.
But to be fair, though, I'm pretty sure that would be Hakaider's MO. He's an anti-hero, so he doesn't care who gets collateral damage in the way. It's all about stopping them back. Actually, he'd probably insist that the prisoners probably deserved it in some way.
He might.
So
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't know. I'll watch the movie and I'll let you guys know.
Sick.
Just
thank
joking.
you.
I probably won't, but you know, I'll say I did, and then hopefully people will believe me.
Get it on VCD.
There you go.
Watch it on your Saturn.
My eyes.
As far as like how well designed the gameplay is, you know, as far as light gun games go, this certainly isn't in the caliber of Virtua Cop or anything, but it's definitely not like a bad light gun game. I think it's highly playable and very entertaining.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I really love the character designs. And I would say the story if I could understand it, but the only thing I know is that TV guy got gunned down, so I was kind of sad about that.
And you don't seem to need to know Japanese to get through like the point and click adventure bits, and you just kind of click on through and be like, okay, you're talking, and eventually you'll be able to just get your way to an action sequence at some point. So. Unless, Jason, did you run into any language barriers that like severely got in the way of you at all?
No, there was a couple of times in which a character asked me a question, but I don't know if I answered correctly or if there was no incorrect answer.
Sure.
So I didn't run into any barriers like that.
That's good. No, very good game. I am having so much fun. This is one that I'll like actually go through and beat later. Especially with it having a save feature and it not being particularly long, provided I can get through the prison sequence. So
it's pretty easy. Just get good at it and you'll be good. It's like Dark Souls.
Just get
right on. I'll just get good. Thanks.
But it
Pat.
is nice that it has a save feature. That's not
Yeah.
a standard feature in a lot of these old light gun games.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Certainly the first one I've played that has a save feature.
Yeah. And it's much better than Death Crimson. much better than Henry Explorers too. So, or Crypt Killer, or whatever you.
Corpse Killer. Oh, that's the best light gun game ever made.
The light gun game that doesn't support the light gun game.
Certainly the most expensive light gun game ever made, right?
Yeah, it's definitely no Death Crimson, but I'd recommend checking out Death Crimson 2 if you like Mechanical Violator. Heidecker.
Yeah. Hell yeah, I certainly will.
Yeah, same. I'm going after it.
If you're a collector, and again, Cliff Note prices vary, especially through time, but this one's not too bad. You can get a complete copy for about 27-30 bones. Some people are selling it sealed for a nice $69 or best offer. But again, proceed with caution if you're listening to this and using this as a price guide.
This is going to be a total of $69 and 420 cents.
420 cents.
Exactly.
What'll be really fun is if we come back to this podcast in a year and we're listening to these prices that we're listing, like, oh my god, they were that low.
We did that with a couple of games on the earlier cast when we did the podcast retrospective. We talked about Panzer Dragoon Saga being $500. Oh boy. What naive time that was.
God.
Jeez.
And we were upset at that $500. We were like outraged that it was $500.
Now it's like that one. I don't know if you've ever seen the gorilla picture of the gorilla that just slams the keyboard down. It's like him looking and just slams it with his fist. That's kind of like my reaction to a lot of that stuff. It's like, just destroy the keyboard.
Right. Anything else that anybody wants to say about
Hakaider.
Hakaider?
I like the way that Jason says it. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, what's going on with his head? It like glows red or something like that? Or is that just hair? His crazy hair?
He's just got a good head game.
He's just got, yeah. I don't know. Because on the front cover of the game, I think it's a picture of his head and it's like glowing red or something like that. So, but again, I don't understand because I don't know if that's like his power or something.
I think it's like a brain. I'm looking at other pictures of him, and I think it's like a brain and a glass thing, like Mojo Jojo, like that kind of thing.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we move on to the next game? The last, and I wish it was least. It's the least in my book now. Steam Hearts, the infamous and emphasis on infamous shoot 'em up, vertical shoot 'em up on the Saturn. Technically, it wasn't released first on the Saturn. That was going to be on the PC 98 and March 15th, 1994. And if you know anything about the games that are released on the PC 98, you definitely know what kind of game this is going to be, folks.
Mm-hmm.
It's a smut shmup.
Shmut 'em up. Yeah, I like that.
That's a good one. That's a genre.
That's just been coined, Jason. Thank you. Released on March 22nd, 1996 on the PC Engine and September 23rd, 1998 on the Saturn. So right on the death heel of the Saturn was that game. Weird date stuff. Don't know why anyone would want to play that game in 98 versus 94, but whatever. Affordability, I guess. Plot is set in the world where the people of the world are infected with a virus, altering their behavior. Two siblings, Bo and intersex sibling Fala, are immune to it and set out to fight it. The way that they fight it is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
After each boss defeated, Blow and Fala interact with the woman. Blow.
I want to hear what you say. I'm really curious.
Oh god,
it's a read. You want me to read it? I can do it.
No, you need to.
How blue can you get here?
Well, he blows a lot. He blows quite a bit, actually.
Blow does blow.
He blow. So this is a direct quote. Blow ejaculates into the boss's character to cure them from the virus.
That is a direct quote from the Wikia.
That is it. So when I first started playing this game, I couldn't understand it, so I just assumed, it's those like the Japanese, like the funny, wacky Japanese, like, they're doing something sexual, but it's really something innocent, like cleaning something up. I thought it was that, like maybe he does a special move, but no, it straight up says, he has sex with them. So
yeah, they the two siblings have their way with the boss in a cutscene after every boss is defeated. The cutscenes are single frame, like slideshow style. They take forever to get through. They will last longer than you.
Yikes. I'm not touching that one.
And in the PC PC 98, the cutscenes are a little more detailed, whereas on the Saturn port, they toned it down a bit. And
in what way did they tone it down, Nick? Why don't you I want you to enlighten us.
They erase the nipples. They open it in Photoshop, use the clone stamp tool, and erase out the nipples. So
the nipple remover tool, my favorite Photoshop Adobe design.
So it's just that, and that's how it's censored. As far as like, so I played through most of the game. I didn't beat it. As far as porn games go, it's whatever. It's like, that's whatever. If that's your thing, okay. But in this particular game, at the end of Boss 4, the cutscene that plays out is a little forceful. Probably something that they wouldn't get away with nowadays and shouldn't get away with nowadays. So, I don't know.
I feel like there's a whole thesis that could be written about the twisting the game does to make the good and noble heroes people who travel the universe assaulting cat girls. But I mean, this game's certainly not unique in that sort of twisting, but it's there's a lot to unpack with all this.
There is, yes.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little rapey.
It is. Yeah, there you go.
It's a wow.
Someone said it.
I guess,
Thank you, Ben.
I wouldn't say a little. I think a little would be an understatement. I think a lot would
Boss
be an
4 is a
understatement.
straight up rape scene. Like,
Yeah.
I don't speak Japanese, so I don't understand what they're saying, but I think the end of Boss 4 is like a straight up rape scene.
I mean, you don't have to speak Japanese and knowing that context of what he's doing. I don't
Right.
think you need to know Japanese to understand that.
So yeah, it's yeah, I felt uncomfortable playing Steam Hearts, but going into the gameplay of it, totally ignoring the cutscenes. So it's a vertical shooter. The power-ups work kind of like in Raiden, where there's the Vulcan, where it's like the bullet spray, and then there's the laser, which is like a straight shot laser beam, and you can alternate between the two of them depending on which one you collect and continue to power up. And then you get these sub weapons that kind of work in a neat way. There's like one sub weapon that's like the sword from Radiant Silvergun, and you move it around your ship when you're not holding fire. And there's another where it's like, homing lasers. There's another where it's like gives you a little circle buddy that like revolves around your ship and can shoot stuff. And then instead of bombs, you blow up your sub weapon. So like if in the case of the sword, if you hit the bomb button, it becomes a big giant sword that takes up the entire screen, and you can kill everything just by moving in a circle. And then if it's like in one of them, your ship becomes super duper fast when you press the bomb button for like 10 seconds, and you're invincible, and then you can like just run into things and blow them up. And there's also like a speed boost button. If you press R, your ship gets a little boost, so that makes dodging some of the bullets a little easier. My gripes with the gameplay come strictly with how the enemy fleets are designed. This is a very easy shmup game. If you're decent at shmups, you'll be able to beat this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd have to be a little bit harsher. I think it's a rather boring shmup, and
It is.
as much. I mean, the only cool thing is that the weapon thing, but I mean, Cotton 2 already did it better. So
I would argue that half of the gameplay can be played blindfolded with success, because it's just that poorly designed.
It's really too basic as far as like shoot 'em ups go. If you're a shoot 'em up fan, this is one that you're going to want to try just because it's so popular and people talk about it. But when you get into the gameplay and you're actually playing it, the criteria for what makes a good shoot 'em up, none of it is really here.
I
Like
agree.
you can see the basis behind it, like the Kaido sword weapon or the way they do the other weapons, but it just doesn't feel very polished. It's way too simple. You're just going to fling through the levels, and
just hold down C and win. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time, as long as you're shooting, you're fine. There's not
Yep.
The only
a lot
the only
more.
boss that was really bullshit was the one lady that sucks you in and it's like just keeps doing damage to you with the big sphere thing.
Oh, that's the way you got to use the speed boost. That's the one where the game forces you to learn speed boost.
Fair.
So, yeah.
Wait, what are your thoughts on it? Sorry about that, Jason.
Oh no, I was just saying that it is a very easy game. Like, I'm not good at shmups, but when I was playing this to get ready for the stream or the podcast, I had no problem getting through it. It was
Yeah.
I have no skill at these games, but it was pretty simple.
Yeah, if you just hold fire and then move left and right repeatedly, you'll get through a lot of the game. And the hit points, you get like a health bar, and you get a generous amount of like health power-up items to regenerate your health bar. So yeah, it's too easy. It's so easy that it becomes boring. I see Dave is playing the game for us, and he has just gotten to a cutscene.
Yeah, I have to say this is probably the most boring. Like, I'm gonna be honest, this is the longest drawn out part of the game. Like the intro cutscenes and this cutscene, I literally was bored watching this. I put down my controller and looked at my phone. Yeah, I get they're naked. That's fun. That's cool. But like it just drags on and it's just a slideshow. Like there's no interaction. It's just voiceovers that I can't understand over picture books. It's like Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, except even worse.
So you're saying you need more frames of animation, Pat?
like just something. Give me
more
something.
of a visual.
Like
I'll
just,
say this.
it's
I'll
not.
say
You don't
this.
even need the nipples. Just like make it like entertaining in some aspect.
I will say this much: if porn games are your thing, you're probably going to be playing this with both hands on the controller.
Yeah, like seriously, this is
Wah.
probably this is probably the worst. Not only that, they're just problematic to begin with and hasn't aged well at all.
And yeah, a lot of the themes just do not age well. The rapiness of it just makes it like really not okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kid you. Like the last time I was playing this,
I felt physically
because
uncomfortable.
Pat and I were talking about it on the best of thing, and we were talking about it on the SHIRO show. I was playing it. My wife comes behind. She's like, "What the hell are you playing?" And she's like, I mean, like, no offense, but like, what the hell are you playing?
It's research.
I have no excuse. I'm just like, I'm sorry. It's I can't defend it. I cannot defend it.
Listen, if you want a good porn visual novel game, just go on Steam. There's hundreds of them that are better than this one. There's
and
actually
not morally inept. So
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but
there's even better like adult like hentai shmups out there that are way better, that are more classic and tasteful than this one. So I don't know how we covered this before in the Shmupcast, but we went very little into it because we had like a bunch of games. That's why I kind of wanted to revisit this one, because I think I kind of like since the smaller list of games, we can go more in depth about them and talk about their problems and the plus side. But to be honest, this one's just more problems than anything.
I think it's good that we finally given this like a deep, like a totally objective, like, okay, here's what's going on in this game look. I think especially with I hate to use the antiquated, cliched saying how far we've come or whatever as like but as far as that goes, I think that people shouldn't really give this game the time of day anymore. It's an important piece of history in the sense that, like, wow, this happened. But I personally think it's time to put this game to rest, at least from a SHIRO perspective.
It's definitely like there are so many great shmups on the Saturn that it there's a lot. Except for like the shock factor or whatever. It's just it leaves so much to be desired in terms of. I think I first heard about this on the Racket Boy. Racket Boy.
That's where I first saw it.
That's where I first heard of it, and I was like, okay, another shmup. And it's not half bad looking. The sprite work is good. The art, the panels, the art panels are good. It looks flashy, but then Pat's right. When you get into it, it's like a slideshow. It's kind of overwrought, it's just, it goes way too far. It steps over too many lines, and you're just like, okay, like, I feel dirty playing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not that great of a shmup, so you're just like, why am I wasting an hour or two on this, when I could be playing like Guardian Force, or when I could be playing, I don't know, almost any other.
Ray Storm, Ray Crisis, Slayer Section.
Yeah. Game Tengoku.
Exactly. Game Tengoku is a way better game than this. It's the best, one of the better shmups.
But if you guys are curious and you have to satisfy your curiosity, check it out. I think you'll agree with us. I think you'll get into it. You'll agree with us, and you'll be like, okay, been there, done that.
Yep.
It got poor reviews back in the day as well. So I think it like maybe 5 out of 10s. There's like one magazine that gave it like a 4 out of 5, but I don't think they were thinking with their heads, if you know what I'm saying.
Nope, they were not.
I'll be honest with you though, with this kind of artistry behind it, and they could have done so much more with this game. Honestly, there's so much potential here.
The gameplay had some good ideas. They just were very poorly executed.
Yeah.
I
mean, I like the brother and sister team kind of thing. If they didn't make this a porn game, if they had actually like kind of been more serious, taken it more seriously, and actually done some cool stuff with it, I think that it could have been a much better game.
I feel like I could have defended like sexual content in the game, but it is almost entirely just sexual assault. So from start to finish, that's
exactly
that's what the game is. You play 4 minutes of shmup and then watch 7 minutes of still images of sexual assault of cat girls, and if that sounds great to you, then maybe check out this game. But I will defend most of the garbage on the Sega Saturn. I do genuinely love nearly every game on the system, but I would not defend this particular game.
A lot of the red label stuff is actually pretty good. Like, I mean, I like Yakukin Special or Haunted Casino and stuff like that. But this one is just kind of one of those weird ones that I'm like, okay, I'll fire it up for this podcast, but I'm probably not going to play it. Like
for
on
the record,
regular.
I'm very much not a prude or anything. It's just
yeah,
like,
me neither.
This game goes too far.
Yeah.
And it's not even fun. That's just it.
Yeah, it just does none of the jobs that it's supposed to do good. It's not a good hentai game. It's not a good shoot 'em up, and like none of them. Like you could argue, oh, well, it has this or that, but like when both of them are bad, it's like, what do you have left? You have
Sexual
a
assault.
mediocre. Yeah, sexual assault, exactly. That's what you got.
And really, like there was. I don't know how much of that there was in Japanese games in the 90s, but it definitely, I don't even think that it flies today in Japan. Like, I definitely think that.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it necessarily flew back then either. I really don't know.
It was borderline, but yeah, for sure.
I've played a number of inappropriate games on the Saturn, a number of Red Label ones, and like, yeah, they don't do this.
It is good to remember that, like, when you remember that it's a PC 98 game, that totally makes sense because that console was basically like a porn console, and so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, but if you think about it, you know what else was a PC 90 game and was good, and that was ported to the Saturn?
Snatcher, Police Knots.
Police Knots. Actually, PC was 80. Sorry, that was PC 88.
PC
sorry.
88. Yeah.
Sorry.
Police Knots only had mild sexual assault.
Right.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that does.
yes,
oh
right.
crap! I forgot.
Yeah.
You're right. Never mind. I guess it does fit then. Okay.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the groping, right? Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that and I won't talk about it. Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of that in all of his games. Kojima, he was kind of a pervert. But we love him.
Hell yeah. Well, is there anything else that anyone wants to say about this game at all?
I don't understand the title. I don't understand the apostrophe in the title.
And I was just going to say, it is not worth the price that it's going for on eBay. It's not even worth
I'm sure it's expensive.
a playthrough, so yeah.
Giga TGL. Did they do any other games of note?
Let me go look that up.
It says 94, 96, 98 on the copyright there. That's like quite a span.
It's this title, Group Library, Saturn.
I think that's because 94 is when it originally came out, 96
Right.
was PC Engine, and 98 was Saturn.
Okay.
It's going on eBay for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, it's not worth $1, let alone 200.
Is it worth a download? Should folks download it on their satiator or whatever?
Strictly as a piece of history alone. If you want a good game, if you want to, if you want to watch some inappropriate Red Label stuff for fun, any of those reasons, this will not be.
Yeah.
This will not fit your needs. No.
What about you, Jason? Do you own it?
No.
Right. Okay. You did stream it though? Oh, you didn't.
No,
stream
I didn't stream
No,
it.
yeah,
You
probably, yeah.
I
He's
just
gonna get
played
his channel shut down if he does.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, most of the Saturn imports that I collect now, I collect specifically for streaming, and so I've avoided the Red Label stuff because I just can't stream it. And
yeah, I think that's great, by the way, that you do that, because then that gives you a reason to play it and get into these stuff. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, it's nice being able to take off time each day to play some of the games that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. You get to actually go through the backlog. You don't just have dozens and dozens of games just sitting there that you'll never touch. You actually get to go through them, and then every now and then you discover a Omakase Savers or a Hakaider here and there. So that's just awesome. How many games are you at? Do you know?
Oh, I got my VG Collect account.
Oh, that's right. You track them. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for Japanese Saturn games, I got 261.
Oh dang!
Wow.
Insert sound effect of the shing, the swing.
Yeah. Nice.
Video game saver. No.
That's a lot.
But I looked up that TGL, and apparently Giga is a adult sub-label of it, and the only game they released was Steam Hearts for the Giga label.
Oh, well, there you go.
And the last game they made was Boulder Force EXE on the Dreamcast. And no, it has no relation to Baldur's Gate, but this game kind of looks interesting. I think it might be an adventure game, but it supports actually, let me double check what kind of game this is. It looks kind of interesting. It's not the game. It's like an adventure game sort of thing. It kind of reminds me, kind of like like a mecha gauntlet. So, but no, that's the last game they did, and then they shut down apparently. Just want to thank our patrons, C-Wen, Emerald Nova, 32-Bit Stuff, Memphis, and Super Dimension Century Orgus. Oh, I love that name. Super Dimension Century Orgus for backing us on Patreon. If you guys want to get a shout out on the show, back us at the $10 level or up, and we'll shout you out on our podcasts. You get early, I think 3 and above. I don't know if it's 3 or 10 or above, but get early access to the podcast as well. So if you guys want, we'll probably release this a week early than everyone else, so to get everyone to listen to that and check that out. If you want to back us on anywhere else, you can buy a shirt on our Threadless store. I think it's just I forget what the URL is, but it's on our website on SegaSaturnShiro.com. Here's some really cool Saturn designs, some cool logos. I think it's Dave's wearing the PCB board, right, Dave?
Mm-hmm.
One really cool shirts, and then of course just check us out on our Twitter and Facebook, Play Sega Saturn, and definitely check out our Discord as well. It should be on the description, and I'll add FilmCows as well in there. I don't know, would you be able to send me an invite link to that, and I can add that to the video, Jason?
Yeah, sure.
I need to join that myself. I don't know why I haven't, but I'll go join that as soon as I get that link. But
it's a good worker.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll just chat it up, see what's going on. But thank you again, guys, for watching. And remember,
you must play Sega Saturn. Carl, you must play Sega Saturn. It was not by my hand that I am once again given flesh. I was called here by humans who wish to pay me tribute.